America is deeply divided. There are only two sides to every issue, and there is no interest in finding common ground, not even with members of your own family. But as the 2024 presidential election looms on the horizon, there has never been a more important time to have the necessary conversation.
Welcome to the Necessary Conversation. I'm Chad Colchin. With me today is my sister Haley, my mom Mary Lou. Is Dad in there? I don't see him.
Yeah, he's back there.
All right, and my dad is here. This is a show, of course, where we as a family discuss our political differences using the four biggest political topics of the week to fuel that conversation. Well, I don't know what's going on there. Mom, Dad, you all right? What's going on?
God damn.
She going out or down?
I have no idea.
Jeez.
I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm back.
All right. We sometimes start this program with rants. Anyone is available to do a rant. If you have a rant, any rants?
Haley?
Something just happened in Texas. We already talked about the fucking the Texas Supreme Court shit, right, last week?
Yes.
What just happened? Something at University of Texas, like two professors are trying to get two girls kicked out because they had abortions.
Oh,
Have you read about this?
I didn't hear about it. No. Enlighten us.
They're trying to get two students literally kicked out of college because they had abortions.
Right. Well, it is illegal, isn't it, in Texas to do this?
It's illegal now, yes. I don't know when they had them, but they are trying to get them kicked out.
Well, for
University
committed
of
crimes,
Texas.
what can you do?
Funny you would start with that because I was going to call my rant. I was going to call it Mary Lou's little ditty because
Okay.
I have more than a rant. I have a couple things. Anyway, when you started with that, look how red my face is. Sometimes Chad said, be very careful when people reach out to me either through the YouTube, the TikTok, or the Instagram. Huh? Yeah. So Chad said, be very careful. Don't really talk to people. But I have talked to, I'll be honest, two people.
Okay.
Two people
in
all this whole time. And I got one last week, and she reached out to me. And when I read what she wrote, I was like, wow, I'm really, really sorry that happened to you. And she told me that in the conversation we were talking about the abortion in Texas, she said, I myself had a pregnancy where it was, inside the fallopian tube. Ectopic, I think that's what they call it. And ectopic. It was her life for the babies. And she had to have the abortion to save her life. And I said, well, you explained it a lot better to me than my liberal children did. Thank you. I said, and I'm sorry that did happen to you. Of course, if you have to save the mother's life, then that would be a yes. So I thank her for she went into more detail. I'm not going to read it all, but she explained it better. And, I will talk to a few of you if you're nice, but if you're not nice, I don't talk to you. So I'll just say a big F you to the people that are mean. And there are a lot of mean people that say stuff to me too. Chad told me this.
Yeah, brother.
So
Chad, I just had somebody fucking message me on my bakery account, saying that I'm a sinner and you're gonna burn in hell and shit like that. I get that all the time. So for me, it's I don't know. I've learned to live with it, and it doesn't upset me anymore.
I've gotten death threats as well. When my first book came out, a lot of people were outraged by it, and I definitely got death threats. Mom, did this person, you're claiming the person just explained it better than Haley or I ever could, but this person was able to change your mind on abortion? So you're now okay with abortion in some cases?
Well, she made it more personal, that it was either her life or the baby's. Yeah.
Sure. So now let me ask you this. If you've now had this experience where someone was able to tell you their personal story and it changed the way you think about abortion, at least in these circumstantial cases, right?
Right. Yes.
So do you think it's possible anyone else could tell you something that would change your mind about any of your other political views?
No.
Only abortion. That's the only one. Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
No.
Okay, here's
All right.
my ditties. Here's my ditties. I got a few.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Pat Sajak, bye bye. Hello, Ryan Seacrest.
Is Pat Sajak dead?
Hmm?
He is no longer doing Wheel of Fortune. He was done. He retired.
Okay.
His last show was last Friday. Ryan Seacrest is going to do it. I don't know if I'm going to like that.
Okay.
When is
Meghan
the last
Markle-
time you watched Wheel of Fortune?
Dad and I watched it a lot.
Last night.
Last night.
Okay.
Meghan Markle.
All right.
Yeah.
Hailed as the Nigerian new princess because of her 41% ancestral links to Nigeria. You know what I say about
Hell
that?
yeah. Hell yeah,
Bye
brother.
bye. Don't let the door hit you in the ass as you go to Nigeria to live. See how you like it. Bye bye.
Wait, why do you hate Meghan
Here.
Markle?
Don't
Why do
say
you
that.
hate Meghan Markle?
Because I think she is pulling Harry down, and
Pulling him
And-
down.
what she's
What
pulling him
do
down.
you mean pulling him down in what way?
Like influencing him to do things he doesn't want to do.
Such as?
Go see his father, go see his family. I mean, I don't know about all that, but I just read the stuff, and I think she's like an influencer to him.
Oh, by
to,
the way,
to
she needs to get a fly tag. It's what they put on cows to keep flies off of
oh
them.
my God, don't listen to
If she
him.
goes to Nigeria, she's going to be covered in flies.
Okay. He's saying she won't like Nigeria either. We
Okay.
don't care for her. So don't let the door hit you in the ass,
Okay.
Megan.
Did you but wait, you liked Princess Diana?
Yes.
Yes. What
She's not
her
the-
son is doing the same shit. Like he's trying to break free of all the fucking bullshit that's going
No,
on
no.
in the royal family.
He married bad.
No. Kitty, come here. I'm not done with my rants, with my ditty.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't have this down, Chad, for us to talk about, so I have
Yeah.
to bring it up real quick.
Please.
Trump's case might be thrown out, the one in New York, because there was one of the jurors,
Mhm.
his cousin, the juror discussed the verdict and how it was going to come out the night prior.
Mhm.
That cousin put it on social media that he
Yeah.
was guilty and the verdict would be read the next day.
I saw that. I don't think you're going to be able to mistrial the whole trial because of that. I don't think it's
Be-
going to change anything.
Because the verdict was given ahead of time.
Correct.
Okay. The other one, Trump's big win in Georgia on the racketeering case, because that indictment, it's all on hold for a while because they're trying to decide if Fannie Willis will be disqualified or not, whether that trial will go forward or not. And if it does, it's going to be way after the election.
Right.
So that's a no-go probably.
Okay.
Biden on the border. Oh, we're going to talk about that. So I can't ditty on that.
Okay. Is
All
that
right.
it? Dad,
is
any
it.
rants? Haley, any rants?
Any rants?
No. I had
All right.
mine.
It's Pride Month.
I told
Pride
you.
Month.
I told you Meghan Markle needs
Okay.
a fly tag.
Don't listen to him. Go ahead.
Haley, you're
It's
saying it's
Pride
Pride Month?
And
It's
I
Pride
think
Month.
they should put it in her ear.
Can I say one more thing before you say Pride Month? I am going to
course.
start reading reviews, and not reviews, but some of the comments that people put on different things, whether they're good or bad. And each week, this will get us more people maybe each week. I'm going to say how I connected with one or not.
Okay. Mary
Okay,
Lou's connection.
go Haley. Go Haley. I got to give this to Dad for a minute. I got to
Nothing.
go check.
It's Pride Month. How do
It's
you feel
Pride
about
Month.
it?
Happy Pride to everybody. Do you guys think there should be a Pride Month, Dad?
Hell no,
Why is that?
Okay.
because I ain't proud.
Okay. Well, let's move on, shall we? We open every episode with a question or statement, in this case, from a listener.
Get through.
If you want to submit a question or a statement, all you have to do is record it in a 1 minute or shorter audio format. Send it to the necessaryconversationpod@gmail.com. Today, Dad, this one's for you. Are you ready?
Sure.
Hi, Culture and Family. This is Ethan. Not so much a question here, but I have a response to Bob and his constant claims that genocide is okay, killing people is okay because the world population is too high and we're going to run out of space, run out of resources. This is false. There is no science to back this up, and he is just using it as an excuse to justify his bigotry. For hundreds of years, people have predicted that the population is going to run away and outrun our resources, and there's going to be mass starvation,
Hundreds
mass
of
death.
years.
It's not happened yet. There's no science to prove that it will happen. The Pew Research Center says that the world's population is supposed to level off at around the year 2100, at around 11 billion people. There's no science to back up the claim that we are in imminent crisis of overpopulation and that no outside intervention is needed to slow the population growth. Thanks.
So there you go, Dad. What do you think about that? No science to back up your claim.
I think it's total crock of shit.
Okay.
In the year 2100,
Mhm.
it's fucking 75 years from now.
Right.
We will be overpopulated big time. We already are. That's why we have pollution and everything else.
So
The Chinese
Yeah.
and the Indians are building coal plants left and right.
Mhm.
They're going to kill more population. And the only thing that's going to keep us from overpopulating is to get rid of some people.
Okay, I
So
just
this
Goog-
guy was citing a study that claims
where-
that that's
where
what it's going to
from?
be. What's that? I
Here,
forget.
wait a
He
minute.
said it in the question. It was like the Global Population Center or something. I forget what it was, but he
Here we go. What is the maximum population
the
the
Earth.
Earth can sustain?
Mhm.
7.7 billion people.
what's that
And we're
from?
already there.
What are you
Yeah.
looking at? Where are you getting that
Mom
information from?
just Googled it.
Googled it.
Okay, so from Google.
Yeah.
Google.
Googled it.
Well, all
Well-
I'm saying is you can pick out a study out of your ass anytime you want, throw it out
Yeah.
there and say, "Oh, everything's fine and we're all doing good." We got to eliminate some people, folks. And if you don't believe that, you're a dumbass, mister.
All right, well there you have it, Mister. Thanks for sending in your question or comment, I suppose in this case. You are a dumbass. Thank you for playing the game. Now let's move on, shall we, to our first
I
topic.
had one more ditty. One more
Oh,
ditty I forgot.
Go ahead.
Jennifer Aniston, stop it. Your face was beautiful. Why are you doing this to yourself? And there's one more. My God. Who is that? Do you guys even know?
Carrie Underwood.
Yes. Stop it. Those women are beautiful. Why do they do that? I don't understand.
All right, are we ready to move on to our first topic?
That's not nice, Chad.
Well, what do you want me to say to it?
What do
You
you
have a
thi-
problem
you
with
never-
people getting
you
plastic
never-
surgery?
Supposed to say,
You
yes,
said
we
yes
agree,
or
or
no.
no, I don't agree.
And
I
guess
personally
what?
don't care. Anyone is free to do whatever they want to their face, their body, or anything else. I don't care.
And guess what? That was one person's comments that I was reading. They were saying Chad's always on the fence. He won't agree with his parents. He won't disagree.
No, I disagree with your sentiment on that. I think anyone should be able to do whatever they want to themselves. And I simply don't care when I see a picture of some celebrity that's like, look at the plastic surgery they've had. It does not register with me as important in any way.
Okay.
You just asked me for my opinion on it. I give it, and now
I
you
did.
dismiss it.
Your mother did.
Okay.
I don't care what your
Okay.
opinion is.
I have to go.
I care.
Okay.
I care.
Please be good.
Do you want to hear my ditty about mom's ditty?
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
go
counter
ahead.
ditty. This is
So,
Haley's counter
yeah.
ditty.
My counter ditty. I kind of don't care what people do with their bodies. Like, it's kind of irrelevant. Who gives a shit? However, when you have mainstream media and huge celebrities constantly fucking setting these standards for young women in a world where everyone is now connected to social media, always looking, always hearing shit. I have 2 young daughters, so it's my job to raise them in an environment where they're unaffected by what they see and hear. But there are a lot of kids who are affected by what they see and hear. So when you see all these celebrities injecting themselves with shit, getting shit sucked out, like you got to be skinny, you got to have a fat ass, all this shit, that's hard to navigate as a young person in the
Is
world.
that a new? Is
So,
that a new thing that you have to have a fat ass?
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's one of the things.
It's not
I
that
didn't know
new.
that.
That's been around for a
Yeah,
while.
it's not that
But
new, but it's a
Thanks
thing.
for that.
The bottom
tidbit.
line
I
with
didn't
it
know that.
is if you want to have a certain job in this world, especially in this country, Plastic surgery is a part of it. If you want to be like a reality star, let's say on Netflix, Too Hot to Handle, or Bachelor, anything, any kind of reality show, that's part of it. That's just part of like the training. It's like if you want to be a
But
pro
that
athlete,
is
you got to have big
right.
muscles and all that shit. And so you got to go to the gym and lift weights. Plastic surgery is like lifting weights for reality stars or influencers, basically.
I mean, I guess
That's
they
how I
all
view
kind
it.
of go hand in hand. It can
Yeah.
all create terrible mental health in young people. Young people know they're not going to be professional athletes. You know that you're not going to be the next fucking Travis Kelce when you're 5'2" and 120 pounds. Like, you know that. But the idea that,
But you could be an influencer.
you know, I mean, I guess I perceive influencers as like a real job. And
As do
I think
I.
a lot of young people just think it's easy. They don't
Of course.
understand that,
Or
like, you have to
YouTube
fucking,
or
you know.
doing a podcast or anything. Of course, it's all hard work. But I view plastic surgery as just part of the toolkit of certain kinds of jobs. Acting
guess.
specifically, influencing, YouTube, whatever. If you're in front of a camera,
Haley put a ditty on your ditty.
What did she say?
But I do think that it is damaging. I think that reality TV, I
She
think that
thinks it's
social media
bad.
in general has a damaging effect on a lot of young people.
interesting.
And she taught me that nowadays you have to have a fat ass to be popular.
Okay. Well, okay.
But I mean,
So we're
social
all
media-
good because we got
social-
dumpers. We got
Yeah.
dump trucks.
social
good.
media and influencing and being on TV, fame essentially is what we're talking about here. The
Sure.
need to look a certain way, whether that's manufactured or not, has always been a part of the industry of fame. And the industry of
Yeah.
fame has just broadened. There are more ways to become famous. There are more ways to make money at it. And so because of that, I think people are accepting plastic surgery. That used to be something reserved for like Hollywood movie stars. Now it's like
Mhm.
anyone can
Yeah.
go get Botox. Everybody does. I don't know. I don't see it as a big deal. It's just a part
When
of that.
did you
that
get your
thing.
Botox?
The only plastic surgery I've ever had is when they carved off a quarter of my face and then
So
sewed
you
my
haven't
lips
had
back
Botox.
together. I've never had it, no.
You said everybody does.
But like
I'm
those-
47 years old. Anybody under maybe like
Okay.
35?
I'm
Probably.
just clarifying. I'm
My
just clarifying.
my take is that all of it breeds insecurity in
Yeah.
young people. I do not remember growing up with all this shit in my face, and so I never had the shit happen to me that like a lot of the people that work for me who are younger.
Mhm.
I never had an eating disorder. I never fucking gave a shit what people thought of me. I dressed how I wanted to dress. I looked how I wanted to look. I don't know if that's just inherently who I am or if I was just unaffected because social media did not exist. I don't know.
Mhm.
It
But do you-
definitely, I think, is a detriment to mental health in young people.
But do you think those movie stars, they get that done and then they think, damn, I look good, when other people are saying, who is that?
Well, they must think they look good. They keep doing it.
I know. Sad.
But I just want to say it's not social media that is detrimental. It's the commodification of it. It's capitalism intersecting with it. The need to make
Sure.
money off of anything is always what taints it. So social media at its face is just a way to like connect with people, share ideas, whatever. You go back and you look at in the days of like MySpace and Friendster. It wasn't like this. But as soon as money gets involved, it's like you got to be an influencer. Your number has to go up. And so now you got to get the plastic surgery, have the workout, do all the perfect things to make yourself look like you think is going to make you money. And when that works,
Mhm.
when you do all the things and you get 1 million followers and you make all the money, it just
Keep
confirms
doing
it.
it. Yeah.
Another one is
Anyways.
Meg Ryan. She was beautiful.
Mhm.
And then she had some, yeah, okay.
I mean, I feel like you can pretty much list any celebrity, like name one.
So I guess
something.
you got to get a good plastic surgeon or watch out.
All right, let's move on to our first topic. We've had a lot of talk now, a lot of ditties. Let's get into some serious business. Our first topic is Alvin Bragg is set to testify before Congress. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg agreed on Friday to testify before Congress as Republicans attempt to discredit Donald Trump's conviction. Bragg's office has resisted calls by Republican members of Congress to testify up to now, citing the ongoing case against Trump. But in a letter Friday to Jim Jordan, the Republican chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Bragg said he is now willing to testify at a future date. Bringing Bragg before Congress to testify is the latest action in a series of attempts by House Republicans Republicans to try to defend Trump amid his legal troubles by going after those involved in his cases. Along with Bragg, Jordan has previously looked into investigations of other members in the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. Jordan also subpoenaed former New York County Special Assistant District Attorney Mark Pomerantz last year for his role in investigating Trump and his business empire. Similarly, Republicans have questioned Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis on whether she used federal funding in her state-level investigation into efforts to overturn the 2020 election results in Georgia. So, let me ask you this. Mom.
Oh, God, why me always? Go ahead.
Okay, Dad.
Yes.
Is this how Congress should function?
Yes.
Thank you for your time. Mom, is this how Congress should function?
Yes.
Okay, Haley, is this how Congress should function?
No.
Look,
All right.
cheeks get red when I lie.
Now, do you think, Mom, that this respects the rule of law? A decision has been made in a jury courtroom trial. Trump was found guilty on 34 felony counts. Do you think that now bringing the attorney who brought that case against him into a congressional hearing to try and dismantle the reason behind why the trial was held or any piece of it, do you think that that's respecting the rule of law and the legal system?
Well, because that trial was not.
Wasn't legal.
It was legal.
No,
What are you
it
talking about? Of course it
Not
was.
legal.
That
Wait a
gagged
minute.
him.
Dad is saying it
That's
wasn't
what
legal.
it's about, that it's not legal.
Where are you? There you are.
You can't indict a guy for felonies that are on the federal side of the deal from a state prosecutor.
I don't know if you know what happened. He was indicted. They had the trial.
He used federal money to prosecute that case, which is against the fucking law.
Okay. Well, I don't know how to tell you this, but on the timeline we're living in, the trial occurred, testimony was given,
And it's gonna
closing
get
arguments were
overturned.
had, and he was found
You
guilty
bet
on
your
34
ass.
felony counts.
Yes, and it's going to get overturned. So that trial means
Where are
absolutely
you?
jack shit.
All right.
If what Dad said is right, that he used that money not correct,
Federal funds.
federal funds not correctly,
Okay.
then how can that be?
How can
That's
what
what
be?
that's what they're going to ask that man.
Sure.
No,
But
that's
now,
what they're going to discover.
That's what they're going to discover. Yeah.
okay. And so if they don't discover that, then you'll accept that he is guilty on 34 felony counts?
No.
Oh, I'm
you know
sorry.
that.
I thought anything made sense.
Never.
You tried to slip that little ditty.
Alvin Bragg is nothing but a lying black man, fatter than shit.
Oh God.
Okay, let me ask you this. Haley, I assume that you think this does not respect the rule of law. Neither do I.
Correct.
Should all convicted felons get to have Congress attempt to discredit the people who got them convicted? Should all felons be allowed to have this?
My God.
No
Depends on the
felons.
circumstance.
None
Okay.
felons.
None
No.
felons.
None felons. No.
Okay, so you
have to
fully
be
support.
prosecuted by a right jury.
Right. Got to be. Okay, so you have to have the right jury, not a jury of your
Right.
peers selected by both the prosecution and the defense,
Yeah,
but the right jury.
yeah. It can't be
I-
a bunch. It can't be a bunch
Right.
of liberals that are getting paid off.
Okay. Let me ask you this. In the history of the United States of America, do you think there has ever been a more corrupt trial?
No.
Okay. Just making sure.
We said that in unison. No.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to our next topic. Biden's border policy. On Tuesday,
What border policy?
I'm about to tell you. On Tuesday, President Joe Biden wielded his executive authority to create a new emergency policy at the U.S.-Mexico border, which would generally prevent people who crossed illegally from receiving asylum in the United States. The declaration, using the same provision of immigration law that President Donald Trump used for his travel bans, as well as for a similar asylum ban quickly struck down by the courts in 2018, in quotes, suspends the entry of most people who will come without papers or an appointment at an official port of entry. The suspension will remain in place until border apprehensions drop to 1,500 per day, a level rarely seen for half a decade. So, this is an incredibly aggressive border policy. He's using the same laws Trump used to enact his border policies, to enact his travel bans.
Right.
So-
after he admitted 10 million fucking renegades
Sure.
who God knows what they're up to.
But now he's using Trump's border
Well,
policies.
now doesn't fucking matter after you've already admitted 10 million people.
You and Mom yell constantly on this program about how Biden's bad on the border. He's literally
Well, he
using
is.
Trump's border policy now. Can you
The
accept that
border's
he's good on the
already
border?
screwed.
Okay, so then there's nothing he could do, Biden could do, in your mind, to fix the border, and there's nothing Trump can do because it's already screwed.
He's doing this because it's
Trump
Oh
will
my
start
God, you won't let me
deporting the
talk.
10 million.
he's doing this because we are 5 months out to an election.
Mhm.
He's trying to get votes.
That's true.
There's nothing in there about where are the 9 to 10 million. What's going to happen to them that are already in the country walking around? This is
Trump will deport them.
3.5 years way too late.
And
Do you
Trump
think-
will do something about it.
Okay,
No,
but you already said the border is screwed, Dad, so no one can do anything about it by your
No,
understanding.
it's screwed until Trump becomes president.
And what's he going to do differently?
He's going to deport the 9 to 10 million people that
Okay.
don't belong here.
But Mom
That's
just
what
said
he's gonna do.
we don't know where those
Biden
people
is
are.
Biden is not going to do that.
Right.
So,
So-
the border is screwed as long as
Okay.
Biden is your fucking president.
Okay, so let's say Trump comes in. Mom, you just said no one knows where these 9 million people are. How is Trump going to find them?
He'll find them.
How?
I would probably say National Guard
illegal.
and go to businesses, go see where they are.
Just
if
knocking
they
So
on
are-
just
doors.
like knocking door to door.
Yeah. Do you have any of one of the 9 million illegal immigrants in our country somewhere near here? Do you have any information that could lead us to these 9 million illegal immigrants?
Do I
How
know
would they
where
do
some
this?
are? What are you saying? Yes, I do.
I'm saying you have two kind of things going on in your head here. One is that the border is so broken, Biden could never fix it, but Trump can. He knows how to do it.
Trump
then
wouldn't. Trump wouldn't have let the 9 to 10 million in without even knowing where they're going.
Okay.
He'll kick them out.
The 9 to 10 million are in, as you're saying, right?
Right.
That's already happened. Trump
Yes.
can't build a time machine that I'm aware of. So when you're saying Trump can fix this problem, how will he fix it if you're already admitting that the problem is too big to be fixed because we don't know where these people are?
No, it's not.
By Biden.
It's not too big for Trump to fix. I really don't think it is. He said day one he's going to call in the National Guard. If they
Round
do
them
not,
up and boot them out.
if they do not have citizenship, they're out. They'll be leaving.
Do you think this Biden policy, let's take Trump out of the equation. He's not president yet. We've still got Biden. Do you think that this policy he enacted is going to be good for his Democratic base? Because this will undoubtedly separate more families, put more people in detention. I read a long article saying essentially they have these kind of like queues that they build up. When these
That's
people are
wrong.
crossing the border, they'll put them in detention until they have like 1,500 of them and then deport them all at once on a giant airplane. And so up to that point, if they don't have 1,500, if you're like one in that line of 1,500, you're sitting in a detention camp until they reach 1,500. And that could separate families, all kinds of bad
Good.
stuff. So do you think, why do you say
Shouldn't be coming
good,
here
Dad?
Anyway.
Why do you say good about that?
What?
Why do you think
are
it's
saying
good that families would be separated?
Good. They shouldn't
But-
be coming here anyway, and that's the risk they're running.
But why is
But
it
they're
good?
coming here for their families.
Well, no, they're not. Most of them are
Yes,
coming
they
here to
are.
do bad.
I just want a simple answer to this if you can, because it's interesting to me that you say good when I say a family will be separated. Why would that be good in any case?
Because they don't belong here.
But why separate the family?
You come creeping your dirty ass across the border, you deserve to have your family ripped out of your damn arms.
Oh God.
All right. Fair enough.
But
But
Uh,
but do you acknowledge though that I know you think that everybody coming across the border has like machine guns and cocaine in their pockets, but do you at least acknowledge that some of them are just families seeking asylum,
Sure.
like
but you
actual
there's-
fucking mothers, fathers, children?
But you can't distinguish who's who.
So don't
what do
you
you,
think
who's
that
you in
they
that
deserve
scenario?
a chance?
No.
Mom, what are your feelings on this about families getting
I
separated?
don't know. I don't know how you can tell who the bad ones are from the good ones. So no one should come over. There are Chinese nationalists, the largest amount coming into our country right now, that are bringing money to buy land. There are
They're
drug
bringing
dealers.
money to buy land, like just in a briefcase or what?
I don't know, Chad, but I do know that the land is being snatched up by a lot of Chinese nationalists.
And we
Around
snatched it
us.
rightfully in the first place from the people who originally lived here, right?
Right?
Hey-o, bazinga.
Yeah, what did that take? Took
What did it
fucking
take?
war.
A genocide.
There you go.
A war.
And that's what the Chinese are planning to do to you.
Okay.
You don't know who the people are that are going to come into the country that have funds from other countries that want
None of
to
the stuff that
kill
you
us.
talk about makes a fucking bit of
You
sense.
don't know who's bringing in drugs or not.
Mhm.
So no one comes in unless
you have zero common
they can
sense.
prove that they're a citizen
You're
coming
willing
into
to
our
sell
United
out-
States.
You're willing to sell out where you live.
The question
to the
he's
highest-
asking is why if they're going to be deported would you in fact applaud separating parents from children? Why? That was the question. Why are
Well,
you happy that they would separate a family? It makes
your
no
dad's
sense.
just talking shit. You know he is. But I've read stories where they are using the children to bring in drugs. And you know that too.
And then they go
And
to
then they go to sex slaves.
Yeah.
Okay.
To be a sex slave the rest of their life.
How about
And you know that
legalizing
is
all
true,
drugs?
too. And you know they come over with bands on their wrists that are different colors, that they have had to pay money to the cartel. So they know where they're going to go, what they're going to do, if they're going to bring the drugs in for them or go into sex trade for them or whatever. The cartel is fueling all of this, making billions of dollars to push those people over across the border. Do you believe that, Chad?
Yes, of course. I think
Do you
there's all
believe that,
kinds of
Haley?
criminal organizations that are
Yeah.
working the system, that are part of this, that are using illegal immigrants to bring stuff into America. Of course, all of that is happening. I'm simply,
system?
and I'm not arguing that our immigration
It's
policy.
Joe Biden's system.
Well, I mean, it's the American system.
It's
You can call it
Joe
Joe Biden
Biden.
system or whatever. This is the system that's in place for us, for our country,
Put
to
in
deal with
place
people
by
trying to come
Joe
into the border.
Biden.
I'll give
What'd he
it
say?
to you. I can't.
No,
You can't.
I don't want
All right, then don't yell. Go ahead.
What did he say?
I was going to give it to him so he's not yelling. He goes, I don't want it.
All right. Well, look, let's move on. Let's go to our simmer down. Are you, as anyone, Dad included, a fan of the game of cricket?
I
No.
saw it on TV.
No.
Look at
Okay.
Kitty.
The United States team just beat Pakistan in like a historic first. And I was reading a bunch of articles that were talking about how cricket is starting to have like an uprising here, similar to what soccer did, or when all of the first U.S. kind of like soccer teams were going on, whatever it was, 20 or 30 years ago. So, and cricket is it's the second largest sport in the world globally behind soccer. More than double the amount of people watch the Cricket World Championships that do the Super Bowl, for example. So I guess yeah.
Cricket.
Are
I
we just
saw
like
them-
the only country that nobody gives a shit about it?
Yes.
They said
In
it's
India, it's the #1 sport.
India. It's #1, Dad said.
Yeah.
But
And
now,
there are billions of Indians.
now because of this, it will probably take off in the United
Perhaps,
States.
yeah. So I was
Yeah.
just going to ask, Dad specifically, I'm curious, what do you think of sports that are not big in the United States, like cricket?
We are small. We are 360 million people. The Indians are 1.7 billion,
Mhm.
and cricket's their #1 sport.
Yeah.
Pakistan and India hate each other. That's why this Pakistan getting beat is a big deal, because the Pakistanis compete with the Indians for cricket prowess, and they got their ass beat by a bunch of lemons from the U.S. So the bottom line is, do I think cricket's fine? I'd watch cricket. It's okay to me.
All right. Haley, how about you?
And I don't really give a shit who's the best cricket country in the world. My guess is it's India.
All right.
Okay.
I don't watch sports. I think
Oh.
I only pay attention when like Caitlin Clark, I've been paying attention to that.
Yep.
I mostly care when women's sports is achieving and winning. But I'm not like a sports watcher, so I guess I'm unaffected by this. I hate football. I've been to a couple of baseball games. I'd rather die than watch basketball.
Oh wow.
I just don't like watching
What do you
sports.
mean? You just said you watched Caitlin Clark.
Women's, yes, because I want to see women succeed. I don't give a shit
Well, that
about
sport
sports in
that she
general.
plays is called basketball. I don't know if you're
Yes,
aware.
I understand.
Did you see the
And
foul that they now are
Yes.
calling? Yeah, what do you think
By
about
Kennedy
that sucker
Carter.
punch?
Mm-hmm.
Is that just
Kennedy
welcome
Carter?
to the? It was a sucker punch.
I
I
don't.
love
You
it.
know what's funny? You know what's funny about sports right now? The most coveted basketball player in America on the women's side is white, and the most coveted basketball player on the men's NBA championship is white.
Who's that?
The guy from Dallas,
Luka Doncic?
Yeah,
He's not
number
American
one.
though.
Number one player. Doesn't matter. He's white. I'm telling you, what's happening is there's a transition, and the blacks don't like it. They're not.
What?
They're not superior anymore in sports.
What are you talking about?
It's disappearing
Jesus
on
Christ.
them, and they don't like it.
Okay.
They don't like it.
All right.
The
Well,
number
this
one
is why.
Number one men's player is white. Number one women's player is white.
Yeah. So cricket coming to the States. I mean, I guess great. I don't know.
Yeah,
Who
we'll
cares?
see.
I don't watch sports.
All right. Except
Are
basketball.
women in
you
Coming
said.
to the
cricket?
States is okay, but
Are
we
women
got a
in
long way
cricket?
to go.
Huh?
Just because the U.S. beat Pakistan doesn't make us a cricket country.
No, I don't think it does either, but it's gaining more popularity. It's getting more visibility in this country is all. But I was just curious.
Worldwide, more people probably watch cricket than they do any kind of NFL football.
Correct.
About rugby.
It's about double.
Yeah.
I was just curious what you all thought of sports that are not, the big four that are played in America. But I also want to talk about this Caitlin Clark thing. I loved that foul because to me, sports is pro wrestling. It is reality television. And I'm watching it for the stories. Yes, they are also engaged in kind of an objective game where skill comes into play in a way that maybe well, I would say reality TV does that too. Pro wrestling, not as much. The outcomes are obviously determined there. But I love when you see a nice villain rising up, taking a heel turn, and now there's a narrative about like, oh, who's going to get the next shot on
good,
Caitlin
yeah.
Clark and all of that. It's a
good
fun
for
story.
the sport. It's good for
Totally.
the sport. It's put it in the spotlight.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark's getting like endorsements left and right. I don't know. It's good. It's good. She's fine. She didn't get hurt. It's fine.
Yeah,
I would have
exactly.
kicked her ass.
It's
Mom
fine.
would have kicked her ass.
Who's?
I mean, I used
The
to.
black girl.
I used to.
I
When
would've
I
come
was in
back at her
sports,
and
like
tackled
body
her ass
checking
right
people
down.
was part of the fun. Like that was
Fun?
part of it.
She knocked her down. She's about 3 times bigger.
If you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen. Let's move on to our third topic. Gantz resigns from the Israeli War Cabinet. Israeli War Cabinet
So
member
what?
Benny Gantz has resigned from Benjamin Netanyahu's government, delivering a blow to the prime minister, who has been celebrating the rare rescue of 4 hostages held in Gaza, an operation that saw one of the deadliest days in the genocide so far, delivering a death toll of 274 Palestinians. In a televised statement on Sunday, Gantz said, quote, "Netanyahu prevents us from moving forward to a real victory in Gaza. That is why we are leaving the emergency government today with a heavy heart, but with a whole heart. The decision by Gantz, considered Netanyahu's main political challenger, fulfills an ultimatum he gave the prime minister last month, calling on him to lay out a new plan for the war against Hamas by June 8th. Gantz's decision comes as Netanyahu faces growing calls from Israel's Western allies and families of hostages held in Gaza to end the war and bring back the captives. 8 months since the war started, Israel is yet to achieve its stated objectives, as most of Hamas top leadership remains at large and more than 100 hostages are still being held. Haley, they killed 274 people in this raid to rescue these 4 hostages. Do you think that is warranted?
No. 200 and how many? 74 people?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know.
To bring back the
no.
4 hostages.
There's like 100 more hostages. So many things need to happen, and I don't think any of it is going to happen. I think everyone in Palestine is going to be fucking bombed, murdered, killed. And none of this, like none of it is gonna
Amen
matter.
to that.
Yeah.
If that was you
is
and
Mom-
Jack being held hostage, I would be
You would be
glad if
there,
they killed 1,000,000 of them.
Yeah.
right?
And
Dad,
they're going to. What?
what do you think? 274 versus 4? Warranted?
Yeah, perfect. In fact, my opinion is they should have killed about 274,000 for the 4.
All right. I will say this. Personally, I don't think that you can really do a math equivalence on this. I think that this is among the only times we have gotten news out of this genocide that Israel actually got something for the deaths. There was at least a purpose for killing 274 people. They did get 4 people to come out. You all right, Dad?
Right.
What? I just yawned.
Yeah. It's just staring into space.
Can't be tired anymore. That's another woke thing. He can't be tired on the podcast.
He's on pain medication.
What? I'm just saying that I was surprised to hear that they actually got some hostages back. I don't know if it's warranted to kill 274 people or not. I don't know what the
Sure it is.
circumstances were.
Where's Joe Biden getting ours back? Nowhere.
All right. Let me ask you this question.
Ours
Start
are
with-
all back.
Yeah.
We'll
we
start
had
with Haley.
8. We had 8. They rescued 5 and 3 are dead.
All right, let's start with Haley on
Yes,
this next
citizen.
question. Do you think Gantz might pose some kind of political threat to Netanyahu in their next election in Israel?
No.
I don't know. Is there talk of that? I have no fucking idea.
Yeah,
what's
he's
going
his
on with.
main political rival
Oh,
at this
well
point.
then yes.
And he's obviously
Absolutely.
distancing himself from
Yes.
everything that's going on.
Yeah, this is
Um,
the start of the play, of course.
I think so too. Mom, Dad, thoughts?
No,
No.
doesn't matter.
No chance in hell.
No.
Okay. Because why?
Because Netanyahu's doing what the Israeli people deep down inside know has to be done.
Genocide.
Yes. Kill all the Palestinians.
You really think that like all Israelis are just like behind it? They're just
Yes.
cheering for it? I
Yes.
think you're wrong.
I don't
I think you're wrong
I
as
am.
well.
I think
I
you're
don't
wrong.
think I am.
I
You
think
think all
a lot of
Americans
them
are behind it?
terribly ashamed.
Do I think all Americans are behind it?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So
But
then
that
wouldn't
doesn't matter. We
But
don't
we're-
vote for Netanyahu.
we're supporting the financially, I mean, our country, like on the face
That
of it,
doesn't
is
matter.
supporting the genocide, but the populace is not. You
It's
don't
not.
think that
Doesn't
exact
matter.
same thing could be possible in Israel?
No,
Okay.
because they're getting killed by those Palestinians.
Right.
And deep down inside, you'll never find an Israeli who thinks Palestine should come out of this.
Yeah. All right. So let me ask you this question. Like I was saying, it has been 8 months roughly since this genocide began. Israel has yet to achieve any of its stated goals, with
Oh,
most
yes, it
of
has.
Hamas's leadership still at large.
Oh,
Do you think they're ever going to get all of the Hamas leaders?
yeah.
No.
They'll clean them all out because they're going to go bye-bye, dead.
And what kind of time frame would you put on that?
Oh, I believe that probably within the next 1 year,
Mhm.
you're going to see either Israel's going to just go in there and raise holy hell, or they're going to be forced to use nuclear weapons.
And let me ask you this then. If Donald Trump becomes president, what do you think his stance on all this will be?
I think he will support Israel 100%. And I
Mhm.
think he's okay with Palestine going bye-bye.
Haley,
Yeah, probably same.
is Mom around? Where
I
has she
agree
gone?
with Dad.
Mom agrees with me.
Yeah, I totally agree.
All right.
Trump's gonna bring a whole new picture.
A whole new
Whole new
picture.
picture.
What does that mean?
They're gonna wipe. I think
He's
gonna He's-
four arms into Israel.
he has a better connection with Israel than Biden does.
Mhm.
And he's going to back them, and here we go, and it'll be over quickly.
The problem the Palestinians have is they have no support from the rest of the Middle East.
Yeah.
Nobody in the Middle East wants Palestine
Yeah.
to be around.
All right. Let's move on
Look at
to
this
our fourth
picture.
and final topic, the Hunter Biden gun trial. on Monday. The second week of the federal gun trial against Hunter Biden begins. That's the day this podcast comes out. And the main question seems to be, is the defense going to call him to testify, which can be a risky move? Biden has been charged, this is Hunter Biden, has been charged with 3 counts related to his purchase of a snub-nosed revolver in 2018, which prosecutors say violated federal law because he was addicted to crack cocaine at the time. He has pleaded not guilty, just like Donald Trump. Defense attorneys have focused on the month Biden purchased the weapon, arguing that there is no direct evidence he was using drugs then. Prosecutors, citing witness testimony, text messages, images, and Biden's own memoir, say the addiction at the time was well documented and that Biden knew he was an addict. One woman who said she met Biden at the Gentleman's Club where she worked testified she saw him using drugs in September 2018, the month before the gun purchase. Hallie Biden, the widow of Beau Biden, who later dated his brother Hunter, told the jury she saw what she believed was drug residue in Hunter Biden's truck, where she says she found the pistol days after others testified he bought the gun in October. Hunter Biden's daughter, Naomi Biden, testified on Friday, saying he looked well in August 2018 as she was, quote, hopeful about her father's recovery in October 2018. But on cross-examination, prosecutors introduced texts between the two in late October where Naomi wrote her father, quote, I'm really sorry, Dad. I can't take this. I don't know what to say. I just miss you so much. If Biden does testify, prosecutors say they may put on a rebuttal case with more witnesses, which could extend the trial further into the week. Both sides will then present closing statements summarizing their view of the case while highlighting supporting evidence. And a verdict is expected this week in this trial. Could go to next week, but they expect that it won't. So we're going to get some outcome here. Do you think, Haley, he's going to be found guilty here?
Probably not. I don't know. Probably not. He should be. I say lock him up. He's a loser, but probably not.
He's a loser.
You know who
All right.
never had kids that were fucking committing crimes? Obama.
That's true.
It's irrelevant.
I don't even have to hesitate. He will not be found guilty. They will let him off. And I love my son so much. Yes, and even if if they say yes, guilty, he'll be pardoned. But I don't even think he'll be found guilty.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, probably not.
You don't think he will be?
No,
I think
don't.
I think he might.
No, I don't. And
Yeah,
let's see, whose cocaine was in the White House?
Now, let me ask you this. You believe that George Soros or whoever paid off all 12 of the jurors in the Trump case?
100%.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, if Hunter Biden is found guilty, wouldn't that be strange that they wouldn't be able to pay off all the jurors in that trial?
That's why he's not going to be found guilty.
That's what we said.
If he is found guilty, will you then accept that Soros, the Democrats, whoever you think is behind all this, do not have control over the legal system?
Now listen for a minute. George Soros doesn't care whether Hunter Biden gets found guilty or not.
Okay.
Therefore, there's no reason to pay off the jury. Because if he's found guilty, his dad's going to pardon him, and everybody knows it's a clean slate.
Right.
So the bottom line is George Soros has no reason to spend money on this jury.
Okay. So that's how you work that one out. Got it. Will you accept the jury's verdict?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really care. He's a loser, like Haley said. Who cares?
All right. Well, I mean, but he's part of the, in quotes, Biden crime family.
Well, that doesn't make any difference.
I'm going to make a pretty bold
Prediction.
Pretty bold one if I can get it out. I do not think Biden's going to be on the ticket. I really don't. I've been reading more and more and more.
You don't think Biden's running for president? Joe Biden you're talking about.
Put this prediction down. I really think here pretty quick within, I don't want to give a time frame, but
they have to jerk him.
They're going to jerk him and they will put in probably the California Newsom, or I've been reading stuff about a senator.
That's the only way they can get rid of Biden and Harris.
It's the only way they can get rid of both of them at the same time. Am I
crazy? Is it not like, are we not past certain calendar deadlines for this to happen?
No, there are no deadlines.
They go right up to the Democratic convention.
I've been reading that the Democrats quietly are giving, input and doing little meetings to figure out who it's going to be. I don't think Biden will be on the ticket. I really
I hope
don't.
you're right, because I think
Yeah.
whoever they put up will have a better shot at winning than him. And I think that it's,
Probably.
especially if it is somebody like a Gavin Newsom or whatever, I think it will supercharge the Democratic base to have another option. Because right now, I think so many Democrats are like, fuck, I guess I'll vote for Biden, but none of us want to. None of us think he's good. None of us like what he's done in Palestine or and a myriad of other shit.
Anything.
Yeah.
Well,
but
that's why they're all in secret little meetings right now. I promise you, Biden will not be on that ticket. I don't even know if he'll make that debate. He might make the debate,
well,
but
I mean, that's
he's not going to.
20
He won't be on the ticket.
or no, it's less. It's 18 days away.
I know.
I mean, that's like 3 weeks. So we'll see, I guess. I mean, I don't agree with you. I think Biden is going to be on the ticket. Otherwise, they would have this person in place to show up at that debate to start the campaign. I think starting the campaign.
Get rid of him and Harris both.
I've been reading a
Biden's
bunch
already
of articles.
campaigning. Where are you reading these articles?
My Patriots send me stuff.
Okay. I rest my case, Your Honor.
Okay. That is a ditty.
My
Write it
Patriots.
down.
All right. Well, speaking of running mates, who do you think is going to be Trump's? I know there's a lot of talk going around now that Marco Rubio might be his running mate, which is insane.
Ooh, I hope not. Ooh, I don't like that.
The guy I told you.
Tim Scott.
No.
Told me at the very beginning.
Oh, Byron Donaldson, maybe. Donald's.
This is a prediction from Dad.
Way back when.
We know it's not going to be Christy. No,
you predicted. Well, no, Dad amended it in. Let's see, July. Dad said it would be Byron Donalds. Then the very next week, he said, "No, it's Christy Nome," which is not going to happen.
Well, then she shot the dog. Then we knew. Yeah.
Once she shot the dog,
that was it. or told about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a mistake. All right. Well, there you have it. That wraps up our show. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Again, if you have a question or a comment, please record it in a 1-minute or shorter audio format. Send it to the necessaryconversationpod@gmail.com. I go through them all. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Before we go, as always, Haley, I love you. Mom, I love you. Dad, I love you.
I won't be here next Sunday. I'm going to be on a family vacation. So happy early birthday and happy early Father's Day.
Yeah, happy early
Father's Day. And oh my God. Serious.
What? I already texted you this. I don't know why you're acting surprised. Mom, I love you. Dad, I love you. Chad, I love you.
Oh Lord.
It's not a surprise.
I love you. All you do is travel or concerts.
Yeah, living that life. Could die any fucking day.
How about the necessary conversation? Is that not important to you?
I'm here right now.
Yeah.
I'm here right now. That's a song by Billy Joel. Chad, I love you. Haley, I love you. Bob, I love you. Bob, where are you? Where are you?
I'm right here. There's Haley, I love you. Chad, I love you. Myrna, I love you. And I hate Palestinians.
Okay. That's a little ditty.
There you have it. I guess next week we will see you. It'll be me, my mom, and my dad for Father's Day 2024.
It's Father's Day?
Next Sunday, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Chad's
Haley's
birthday.
Traveling. Yeah.
Thanks.
We have already planned a trip to come see you for your birthday the very next week. Also, mind you.
Yeah, so we will see you soon. And I might bring a little camera and we might make a little video. We'll see what happens. But again, thanks everyone for joining us. And some of us will see you next week.
Peace out.
Bye.
Oh my God. You're really traveling again.